Hello and welcome back to the Bielsa Stand YouTube channel. We have another video for all of you today. It is that ex-Leeds United player Rob Green. Yes, it's another goalkeeper, but this time I think he's a better goalkeeper than other goalkeepers that we've had in our previous history or recent history. So yeah, let's talk about his career. Let's talk about his time at Leeds United, his international career as well. So a bit about Rob Green is he's from Surrey. He went through the Norwich Youth Academy. He actually made his debut in 1999, I believe, in the East Anglia Derby, where he actually kept a clean sheet in a First Division match. So he played a lot for Norwich City throughout his time at Norwich. He was there for about 7 seasons. The first couple of seasons he was more or less backup. Then I think the third or fourth season when he started playing games, he was more or less a regular throughout his career. So yeah, the first 2 and 3 seasons at Norwich, he was more or less a backup. He did make a few appearances. Then when Norwich actually reached the Premier League, he was also a starter then. But before that, he was starting games. He started for them in the Championship as well in 2005 to 6 and 6 to 7. However, that was his last season with Norwich in the 2006 to 7 season because the Premier League team wanted him in the name of West Ham United. Now, he joined West Ham. Again, he was number 1. He more or less played every game for them. Apart from like the first season, he missed a few games. He played through the season where they got relegated to the Championship in 2011 to 2012. He signed a 4-year contract actually with the Hammers. He teamed up with a former Norwich striker in Dean Ashton, who also played at Norwich, obviously. So after West Ham, he decided to join QPR on a free transfer in 2012, summer 2012. So he joined QPR in 2012, and this might have been the time when they were bringing in big players like Jim Song from Manchester United, the ex-Manchester United keeper. Let's see who else they had. Probably had the likes of Clint Hill, Sean Derry. Mark Hughes was manager at the time with Harry ended up taking over. They had Julio Cesar from Inter Milan. What a signing that was. I remember looking at that signing thinking, wow, why is Inter letting this top goalkeeper gone? He was Brazil number 1, remember. They had the likes of Gino Hoyler, Andros Townsend, Bobby Zamora, Luke Remy, Ben Chaim, Clint Hill, Samba, Traore, Bussinger, Fabio. So yeah, quite a good squad, I would say. Now, obviously with Julio Cesar being at the club, what did that mean for his game time? He played more or less half the games in that Premier League season. Then they got relegated. I think Julio Cesar left the season after. So he became a starter back again for QPR in the Championship. They got promoted. Then in the Premier League, he more or less played every game. And then they got relegated once again, where he played 24 times, so half the Championship games for QPR. Now, after QPR, this is when he decided to join Leeds United. So the keeper decided to sign a 1-year contract with Leeds United in the summer 2016. His debut was against QPR, his old team. He didn't have the best debut. He failed to punch the ball from the corner and saw Bamba kind of put it in his own net, so it was an own goal. But I mean, throughout the season, I think he did more or less well. This was the season with Gary Monk in charge. This is the season when we finished 7th in the league. We started the season very well. Midway through, also doing well. It was at the back end of the season where we didn't perform and we dropped out of those playoff positions and finished 7th. So, I mean, we had a good season, I would say, regarding that. I mean, Christensen did become the head coach the next season, and he didn't want Rob Green as number one. He wanted Felix as number one, which didn't work out, let's say. So he actually left Leeds on a mutual termination. And before Rob Green was number one at Leeds United, we had Marco Silvestri, who was also not very good for us. So, I mean, Rob Green, out of those three keepers, performed the best at Leeds. So when he decided to leave Leeds, he wanted to join another West Yorkshire team, this time in the name of Huddersfield Town. I bet they were well happy they signed an ex-Leeds United keeper, thinking they've got one over their rivals and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, he signed for Huddersfield Town in the summer 2017. This was when they were in the Premier League, I believe. I don't think he really played a game. Who was in charge of them? David Wagner, I think. I don't remember who their number one was, but he was more or less backup. Then a season in West Yorkshire at Huddersfield. He decided to join Chelsea, a Leeds United rival in that aspect, and he was third choice behind the likes of Kepa and Cabello. And he says, being third choice, you don't have that same motivation as being number one, which kind of makes sense. And even though he was on the bench during the Europa League final, because this was a season where Chelsea beat Arsenal 4-1, Green still celebrated the trophy with Chelsea winning it. And a couple of days later of Chelsea winning the trophy, he decided to hang up his boots on a high. So really, his last team where he actually played a lot was at Leeds United, because after Leeds, as I say, he joined Huddersfield and Chelsea. Didn't really play much, more or less backup. I don't think he played a game for either team or in the league. So the last time he really was playing every week was at Leeds United. Obviously, he's played a lot of games in the Premier League for the likes of West Ham as well, QPR and Norwich, mainly playing in the Championship or the First Division as well. But I mean, overall, he was an England number one, so he must have been doing something right throughout his career. Obviously, we all know what happened in that 2010 World Cup match against the United States. Obviously, the first game of the group stages, he was number one for England. He made a howler. The ball went in the back of the net. He got hated by the press. I think he was called green fingers and all that kind of stuff. And David James decided to be he didn't decide. Fabio Capello wanted David James to be number one instead of Rob Green. He was also part of the Euro squad in 2012. He made 12 appearances for England in over about 7 years. And that's a bit about Rob Green. As I say, I thought he did well at Leeds United. I thought he had an okay season at Leeds. I mean, when he was number one, we did have the likes of Bailey Peacock Farrell on the books. I mean, if you don't really remember the team, he had players like Kyle Bartley, Kamar Roof, Luke Murphy, Chris Wood, where Chris Wood had that fantastic season, scoring about 20-something goals. He was top scorer of the Championship. Then, obviously, he moved to Burnley. We had the likes of Matt Grimes, Stuart Dallas, Ponce Janssen, Pablo was here, Charlie Taylor was still here, Ross Turnbull, the keeper, was here, Hadi Saka, Ronaldo Vieira, Liam Birdcutt. We had Bauer as well, Berardi was here, Pendrasa on loan from Villarreal, and I think if we did get promoted that season, he would have joined us permanently. We had the likes also of Belusi. So yeah, I mean, an okay squad, good season overall, I think. Unfortunately, we didn't make the playoffs, but you know what? He's one of the better keepers we've had in recent histories. I mean, if you compare him to Kiko, compare him to the likes of Felix, compare him to even Paddy Kenny, I think Rob Green is the standout throughout his performances at Leeds United. But yeah, that's a bit about Rob Green and his career at Leeds United. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, do all those good stuff. Comment your favourite moment of his career at Leeds. And also, do you think he was unfairly dropped in the World Cup from Fabio Capello? Let me know. I'll catch you later.